everyone. Welcome to today's video. I just filmed a video and realized the fan was on, so I have to refilm that. But nonetheless, guys, if you could tell, I'm in a different environment than I normally am, and that's because I'm over at college right now. So I'm filming on my laptop's webcam, webcam or whatnot. So it's iffy quality, but hopefully it can suffice. Now, I want to briefly talk about a few things, mainly the diet. I came into college really expecting that was going to be perfect, and it's been really good so far. But I started off crock potting everything, and the crock pot is really efficient to cook a lot of calories quickly and with minimal cleanup. But the problem is that it tastes absolutely terrible, and the texture especially is bad. Plus, it's very hard to get variety into your food. So I stopped with the crock pot, and now I'm just cooking my food because I just feel much better all around eating food that I cook, and it just also I was putting the crock pot in my room, and my room felt like smelled like food 24/7, which really was a big downside to it. So now I'm cooking my own stuff, and it's been pretty good. But it is harder to get in calories, especially because now that I'm on my own, I'm eating my own food. I'm trying to get only organic food, and it's pretty difficult to do that. It's just I view food as fuel or because that is what it is. It's an energy source that our body uses, so it is our fuel. And yeah, it is nice because you get good tasting fuel, but it primarily is fuel, at least for my purposes. And so getting the best quality food is something that I'm trying to do. And I think getting organic food is probably ideal. Now, it's not 100% required. And obviously, I'm not doing that everything for every meal. I'm eating some non organic food, but the goal is to get all organic food. And so I've used this place called Azure Standard, Azure, and they have pretty good bulk, cheap organic food. If you guys want to get some food from them, uh, I'd give it a try. They might have places around you. I've done the beef or the beans and the rice from them and split peas. They're pretty good. I'm putting in my next order right now. We'll see how it goes, but they're good for cheap bulk organic. Now, that's been the diet. I'll keep you guys more updated with that. But in terms of bulking or cutting, I'm kind of main gaining. Not really. I don't like doing either because then I feel like shit. So why would I want to feel bad? I just want to feel good the entire time. And so eating the perfect amount of calories just seems to make sense. Even if I could put a little bit more size on, I don't really want to. It's not worth it for me. Now, maybe like when I go back home, I'll go on a mini bulk just because I can eat my mom's food. But besides that, it's not worth it for me to go out of my way to spend more money on food and then to eat to the point where I'm overly full and then feel like shit because of that and see my bills go up. Like, well, that just seems so stupid. So I don't know. I'm not doing that. But I'll see how the main gaining goes. Also, in terms of training, before oh my god, the last video that I had filmed, I I had taken 2 months off before that for traveling. I had traveled a lot, and so really it was also because I had a lot of injuries going into the travels, and I was like, you know what, I can take this time to deload and let my body relax, recover. And so going back into training now, I've really been going slower, progressing higher reps, controlled, focusing on recovery a lot as well. That's just because I kind of like snapped myself up pretty badly. The I'd snapped my it's like twisted something. I don't really know. I strained something in my lower back about 2023 of August, and that really like it screwed up my squats and deadlifts completely to the point where I had to stop just because I think it was a bit of an overuse injury and then not stretching or doing mobility and then lifting insanely heavy while doing insanely low reps with grinder reps. So everything was kind of bad, and then when everything's bad, it just kind of set me up for failure. So I would recommend just be careful with what you're doing because it set me back like a year, which really sucked. Or in terms of squats and deadlifts, at least. But even then, like the back is so central to your entire body. When I would try to push myself on other exercises, it just didn't feel good. Thankfully, now it seems to be have been pretty much healed. Not like I'm still going light. I'm still testing the waters, but seems to be pretty good. Hopefully, this can stay that way. Now, in addition to that, I had felt some shoulder pain just like sporadically, and I kind of attributed it to my low bar squats. So I had like on and off tried flipping them in and out, and I don't know. It like the shoulder pain was there a little bit, but then it started getting kind of bad, and primarily was affecting my bench press. It would even like start cracking sometimes. I was like, oh shit. So I took after the 2 months I took off, it seems to have gotten fine, and I'm just gonna continue like do some mobility work. Just don't do anything stupid, and it should be okay. As well as like I had some tricep pain, and that was just I think it was more. I always got that when I did close grip bench or dips for some reason. I really don't know why, and I don't know. So I've just been avoiding those exercises to be honest, and it seems to be fine. And then I had injured my knee, and now this was another one. This came because of the back injury, so I tweaked my back, and then I was like, shit. Well, I can't do free bar, free weight barbell squats, so I'm just gonna do the hack squat. And I was doing some weird pendulum hack squat thing, and it was my first time ever doing it. But I was like, screw it, it's leg day. I gotta go hard. So I was going really hard, and I felt something shift in my knee. And it did not feel good at all. And then after that, like my knee started cracking a bit, and they hurt pretty badly to the point where I couldn't really squat, and it kind of sucked. So that's why I took those 2 months off. Getting back, like they're still not 100%, but they're significantly better. So it was to the point where I was squatting 135 and like it would feel painful. Now I've slowly been up in the weight and I got back to 195 and I'm doing extremely high reps. So I'm doing 2 sets of 20 for my squats. So my goal is to get that to 315 for 2 sets of 20. And then I can reevaluate, say, if I want to start going a little bit heavier, whatever it may be. After that, I'm going to start reintroducing deadlifts as well. So that's just been the training. In my opinion, guys, just be careful with injuries. I think that I was going unnecessarily heavy very often on a lot of exercises as well. If you're going to go really heavy on squat, bench, deadlift, go lighter on the other stuff and do a lot of other exercises to cover your weak points because I think I was extremely focused on those three lifts and I pretty much reduced all my volume. I was doing bro splits. I was hitting everything once a week and maybe I had like one or two other exercises per muscle group besides the squat, bench, or deadlift, but it really wasn't enough to hit all the weak points. So just be careful, train the body with a holistic perspective, and do some recovery as well because I never did any of that. But hopefully you guys will see by I'll probably film my next video either Thanksgiving time or the Christmas time when I go back home. So that'll be a video where I'm like in the gym posing, stuff like that. Hopefully I will be extremely aesthetic. Now, some other things when it comes to training, I've I've kind of noticed more recently when I'm listening to whether that's like Tom Palatz or just observing Ziz or really a lot of influencers. I'm trying to think. I know Arnold. Who else? There's a lot. I know I'm kind of blanking on a few of them, but a lot of these influencers they seem to really have a sort of philosophical outlook on training. I mean, Tom Platz, I listen to a lot of his motivation in the gym, and he goes into things about like if he gives up on his dream, what else does he have in life? And so I think that a lot of the times there's or it was Dorian Yates. That was another one. He was people would always tell him like, "Why'd you train so hard just to lose all your muscle and now it's gone?" And then he would say, "Well, life is like that. Life goes and nothing's eternal in this life, and that's just part of the human condition." And then as well with Arnold, choose what you want with your life, and then go after that with everything you've got. So and Ziz, I think Ziz was also, of course, trying to find some sort of purpose or meaning with life and partying, going around, stuff like that. So I think that surface level it seems to be that bodybuilders like kind of meatheads. Oh, we just work out, look good in the mirror, then stare at ourselves all day, and eat a bunch of food to try to get big. But I think there are some sort of subtle meanings behind bodybuilding that really kind of have philosophical roots. So I don't know. It's just something interesting I've realized, and it seems to be that these bodybuilders they are chasing their purpose, chasing a purpose in life, and that just happens to be bodybuilding. And so I think that brings me to the point of thinking about, well, why are you training? What is your drive? What is your motivation? And so that I mean that's changed and for me over the years, but I think that anyone training right now should really take some time to think about that and then adjust your training accordingly. Don't just follow whatever your favorite fitness influencer is doing on YouTube or whatever. Make your own training plan that's gonna get you closer to your specific goals. And then lastly, I want to talk a little bit about college because being here in college, it's different to say the least. So I think that I'm very grateful actually that I ended up breaking my wrist back pretty much 2 years ago, just because it allowed me to think about what I wanted out of my life and who I wanted to become and what I wanted to do, things like that. And so through that introspection, I grew a lot. And so I think for kids going into college, if you haven't taken the time to think about, well, what is it that you want to do with your life and how do you plan to do that and what do you value, who do you want to become? It can be a very dangerous place just because I see so many people growing with the crowd without really thinking about why they're doing what they're doing. So that's just my words of advice for any kid going into college soon or in college. Just think about what you value. It doesn't matter what other people care about. It's your life. They're your decisions. What do you value, and how do you want to live your life? And then go after that and to do that because I think that's what's important. And if you think that's what's important, that's what you should be putting your time towards. So I'm in a little bit of a dilemma because I'm studying electrical engineering, and some of my classes have been kind of a pain just because I question how applicable it's going to be, and even if the information is applicable, I'm getting a little bit frustrated with solving problems that aren't real in essence because it seems to be the case that like people kind of come up with these problems. So here's your physics problem, here's your calculus problem. Now solve it. But why? Like, what's the point of solving a problem that's not going to better anything? Maybe it's to train you to better something in the future, and that is kind of the goal with engineering because there's high stakes in some of the things. So I get that, but depending on the profession, I think that school might not be worth it for a lot of people just because they're giving you sort of pseudo problems and you're just spending your time solving things that don't matter instead of going out into the world and actually solving things that do matter and then getting rewarded by those solutions. So that's just my little food for thought on college and whatnot. I encourage everyone, especially young guys, just create a plan, create a vision, create some goals. What do you want? And chase after that because that's really all we got in life. I mean, it's short, like it's very short. So yeah, my words of advice. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't a super motivational, or maybe it was super motivational, but I know it wasn't cool fitness contacts flexing, big gains. But we will have some of those hopefully soon. Once this order of food comes in, I'm gonna start trying to put on a bit more weight just because I've kind of got it small. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy it and cherish the moments, boys, because things are always gonna change. All right, see you guys in the next one and keep getting those gains.